makes me want to holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I've got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Oh, you know we need them. Yeah, we need those strategies, don't we?
Oh, we do.
Strategies for living. So here we are. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
I'm ready today.
And welcome into Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillan. She is psychotherapist, PLPC Lauren Leon McMillan. And he is, look at here, Jay Murrell.
He's back.
Soon to be.
Look what the cat drug in.
Yeah.
I know. It's all y'all's fault, by the way.
Yeah, well, we got a lot to catch up on,
Yeah, we
you
did.
know?
Yeah, we did.
And you've got some big news.
I
and
do.
we're going to share that today
Okay,
here
all
on
right.
Strategies. Because, you know, you've been...
Busy.
We've been busy. We've kept people up. You've been on a couple of times since you started your master's degree in counseling, and we have a couple of announcements today. We'll wait for a second and give it adequate build up.
Yeah, you want people to come back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Most
absolutely.
definitely.
Hang
We want to
around.
keep people on the edge of their seats.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But fair to say, you've learned a lot in these last months. And,
A couple of years.
Couple years, actually. You know, it's amazing how time flies.
I
isn't
know.
it? It's, I guess when you have fun, that's what happens.
That's it.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
And so, folks, we appreciate you being here with us on Strategies for a Living because we do this for you.
There's the other guest.
There's the other guest, which now I will now have to
Introduce.
Yeah, Pocket, our producer. He often
Pocket makes funny noise.
Yes,
but
he
he
does.
only does that when he's happy with the direction the show is taking.
Yeah.
I'm glad you told
Got to
us
think
that.
positively.
Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Yeah.
You've learned
Yeah.
something. You've learned
Absolute
a lot
positive regard for Pocket.
Positive regard, right?
Yeah,
PAW.
Pocket grabbed a hold of my cuff coming up here, wouldn't let go. He loves me. What can I say?
I don't know what is getting into Pocket today, but other than Jay Murrell, but
It left no marks.
yeah, I hope not. Thank goodness for boots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
High tops.
Hey, folks, thank you for being with us here on Strategies for a Living. We appreciate you, and we appreciate our sponsors that make it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing,
Roof.
and Learning RX. It's in stereo today.
Yeah.
Learning RX, and the Balanced Life Wellness Center. And Fertina's Delicatessen, home of The Godfather, alligator Italian sausage, and some pretty good muffies, too. Back in a moment with Jay Murrell here on Strategies.
Lauren, Jay, and David will find our way to help you out most every day. They help us think healthy and make us smile too. They bring out the strategies just for you. Strategies for living radio. Strategies for living radio. Your daily dose.
And welcome into Strategies for Living Radio. Lauren Leon McMillan, Jay Murrell, David McMillan, welcome in, folks. Glad you're here. Especially glad to see you.
It is so
Mr.
good to
Murrell.
be back in the studio
I tell
with
you,
you guys.
I tell you what.
Glad to have you.
Yeah.
You have been on
Been
a
too long.
talk about a journey. You've been on a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you have anticipated
No.
5 years ago?
Was it 5 years or all I know
Well-
is you called me out of the blue one day. I think
Well,
we
it
were
was-
living in
it-
Ruston at the time.
Yeah, it was 2018.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 2018,
Okay.
maybe 2018 or 2019.
2018, because so David called. Here's the deal, audience. David gives me a call. I've known David since Keel Radio days.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
I think we met in 1992.
I think
because
that's-
I was doing strategies for living. You were doing a radio program that followed us. We were
Right, at
We
10
were
o'clock on
9
Tuesdays
o'clock.
or something.
Yeah, we were 9 o'clock Monday through Friday.
Right, the Grapevine.
And and then you and
Dean.
Grau. Oh my goodness.
It's Dean. Yeah, radio get in your blood, won't it?
Yeah, so we go back a long way.
We do.
Yeah.
So I get a call from David, and David goes, "Hey, look, I'd like because I'd gone in the roofing business in 2016.
Pintail Roofing. Yep.
Still am, so don't think that anything I'm doing now is going to take away from that. Let me hasten to add. So David says, "Hey, I'd like for you to be a sponsor on the show. And let me say this, I'd like for you to come on the show one day a week."
Yeah.
Of course, being a radio guy, I said, "Heck yes."
Heck yeah.
And I did, and it was you and me and Carla McCormick.
Right. And some days you'd come on a couple of times.
I would.
You came on when you could.
I did.
Yeah.
And so at some point in the 2021, 2022 time range, David said something. I said, "I love this, David. I love it. I like working with you."
You like you like talking of the counseling stuff.
Yeah. You
every day.
said, LSU is a great program,
And they were a sponsor.
and they were a
They
sponsor.
were a sponsor
That's right.
of the radio
Right.
show. Yeah.
And I
Go,
was,
be close and go far, or something like that.
Yeah.
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 Go close, travel
Just
far.
Stay close and travel far.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they were a sponsor, and they said, Jay, they've got a counseling program at LSU.
Yeah.
And if you're old like you are, they also
I did not say that.
they also have some special accommodation for old people as far as tuition goes, and they do. But that's not the reason I did it. So in the summer,
But it was Lanyap, good Louisiana workers. When you I don't know that you believed me at first. You had
David,
to call,
I believe everything that comes out. I checked it out. Okay,
you called and you called me back and you said, I can do this without any tuition because it's over 62 or
$75,000.
Isn't that's
Is
amazing?
what the whole enchilada costs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was a big motivation. But also, I want to be, as transparent as the profession interests me. And plus, as you know, I've been in the recovery community for over 35 years.
Right.
And so I've been working.
Helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
Helped
And
a
so
whole lot of people.
all one particular 12-step organization is the world's largest leaderless group. Okay. So I'd had exposure to it. So anyway, boom, I enrolled at LSU in Shreveport the summer of 23.
It must have been. Yeah, because I graduated in 22.
Yeah.
So,
And I
yeah, it
took
must have
6 hours that summer. And first course was marriage and family. And the teacher, Tracy Passold, she's an amazing teacher. I just went, wow, this is me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And-
you knew you were home.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And so come May 16th at 10 o'clock at the Brookshire Grocery Center, I'm going to wear one of those funny hats
All right.
with a tassel hanging down. And I'm doing the
And
whole
you're gonna
thing.
get
I'm
it- you're
doing
gonna-
the walk.
I love it.
Awesome.
We'll be there.
Yeah.
You'll have the master's degree robe
Right,
on.
right. Well, that fancy hood and all
Fancy
that.
hood.
Oh,
and
yeah. And the big thing, though, and my friend Lauren helped me with this. There's this test you have to take
Yes, there is.
called the National Counselor's Exam.
Yeah. NCE.
The NCE, and it is hard.
And it's used by the state of Louisiana as the licensing test
Yeah, and it's also in process to being accepted
all over the country. Yeah, but
right.
it's you know, and so when you pass that test,
you're
you are a nationally certified counselor,
right?
As well as, because the state of Louisiana uses it, you're ready for licensure in the state of Louisiana if you so decide to pursue.
Yeah.
Which I am going to do.
Wonderful.
But so it's a you got to remember a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Lauren gave me some study materials that I used. And I'll be honest, going into the test, it's maybe 50-50.
Oh, really?
It's like a 5-hour test.
Yeah.
This is last Tuesday. And when it's instantaneous when you finish.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked out, and this young woman at the reception desk said, "Well, you passed." I said, "What?"
You couldn't believe it, could you?
And I did. And it feels really good to have that behind me.
Good.
And I'm not sure what. I kind of have some ideas of the areas that I would like to be involved in, but I'm going to just sort of let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, just see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Let what needs to unfold.
Yeah, because I've got a roofing company, and that's your
priority. That's
my
business,
priority.
Yeah.
But some afternoons I can see myself helping, working with some people.
Sure.
Yeah.
And because you've got a good crew at the.
I do.
You've got your son, and you've got a good crew at the. At the roofing business.
It is. It's got a great project manager, and I've got some great installers.
That's wonderful.
And quality control is everything in any construction field, but certainly, you find it real quick if you didn't put something on right when it rains.
Yeah.
So there's that, and I'm excited, and we've done shows on neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
Neuroplasticity.
Neuro, that word.
Yeah.
And it happens that, and I learned this in development over the lifetime, or life's whatever, that, there are phases, there are stages in life. And when you're in the phase that I'm in, which is the last one, there are things that change with your cognition, what you're able to remember, and how fast you process.
Yes.
Right.
And so I will say with some authority that being involved in a master's level program where there's a lot of writing, a lot of research, a lot of thinking about things and putting things together.
You're using that muscle.
Yeah, you are.
Again.
You are.
You could not have picked a healthier thing to do.
I agree.
You really couldn't have. And, and you decided to go ahead and pursue and get a master's degree. Congratulations to you for that. But if there's anybody that's listening to us that is considering, going back and taking some courses, I'll put in another plug for LSUS.
Great.
You don't have to go get a master's degree. You can go out and take any course that interests you. So does history interest you? Does philosophy interest you? Does science or biology interest you? Yeah. There's a full range of courses.
Program offerings.
Yeah.
So actually that kind of leads into one of the areas that I intend to kind of see if I can flesh out. And that has to do with life's purpose after one has retired or is getting ready to retire.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Jay. And I don't, in no way, shape, or form, do I want to be contentious. But unless you have to, I don't really believe in retirement.
I'll never retire.
I believe in transitioning. You may want to, if you've been in a job that my father-in-law is soon to retire.
Yep.
But I know that I know Mike will transition into something else. He may rest for a little bit because he's been in finance for many, many years, but to transition into another area is, that's what life is. Life is about learning.
Yeah.
It's also about having purpose.
Yes.
And And if you've retired and I look, it's okay. And there's nothing that
Did you never retired at all?
kind of sort of did probably 10 years ago
After the land business, yeah.
Well, after my unfortunate landing down in it's another show.
Yeah.
Let's just say that I retired from the oil and gas business.
Right.
After on a not very good landing south of DeRidder. But anyway, and so I didn't really have to work.
Right.
And I actually went back to school. I went to Southern and I got an associate degree in aerospace technology to learn how to turn wrenches on airplanes. I had an airplane. I wanted to learn how to do some things on it.
Sure.
And I was, I did that. And then, I finished. And then, boom, up came this opportunity to teach ninth graders at Loyola.
And there you went.
And I did.
And then you became a radio host again, and lo and behold, learned, hey, I can go get a master's degree.
Yeah.
And you did.
Yeah.
In the meantime, you spent some time on the roof.
Yeah, well, and still hope to.
What's graduation day?
May 16th, 10 o'clock at not Century Till, it's
Brookshire
Grocery
Arena. And we will be there with bells on.
Yeah.
Folks, we are with Jay Murrell today. It's been too long, but I should say newly minted master of counseling.
Oh, now easy now.
Jay Murrell.
I accept the compliment.
Thank you.
We'll
be back. More to learn today here on Strategies for Living. We hope it's some to learn every day. We'll be right back.
From the bayou to your table, we're keeping it alive with flavors from the family passed down to survive. The Godfather's here with a twist in the tail, alligator Italian sausage, and it sure won't fail. It's the boss of the bayou, a taste you can't refuse. Italian tradition, Cajun infused. Godfather sausage, bold and true. But Andres bringing the bayou to you.
Get the Godfather alligator Italian sausage only at Fertitta's Delicatessen, 1124 Fairfield Avenue in Shreveport. Pick up a muffy while you're there. The Godfather alligator Italian sausage. It's a taste you can't refuse. Sold only at Fertitta's, 1124 Fairfield Avenue in Shreveport.
Dealing with stress, pain, feel like you're running out of options? When your life is balanced, wellness is a given. True wellness is holistic. It's about the mind, the body, and the spirit, all in balance. Now, there's a place right here in Shreveport that's all about helping us achieve peak mental, emotional, and physical health. The Balanced Life, 117 Kings Highway, right next door to Strawn's. Come see and feel the difference getting your life in balance can be. Many of your friends and neighbors have already learned the difference less stress and pain mean in their lives. You can book a discovery session right now online, thebalancedlife.us. All you've got to lose is stress, pain, or maybe both. Come see and feel for yourself the real difference balanced wellness makes. The Balanced Life Wellness Center, 117 Kings Highway in Shreveport, next door to Strawn's. Thebalancedlife.us.
Facing the same old problems day to day makes you wanna holler, get away. Looking for the road that'll get me there, looking for hope and peace to spare. Looking for strategies.
We got a few. Got a few strategies here on Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, Jay Murrell, David McMillan. I should bow from the waist and say, Master of Science.
Hey, I haven't got
J. Murrell.
I haven't.
Oh, yeah, but it's a,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty much a done deal.
Yeah,
I think so,
You've
yeah.
sent out graduation invitations,
Oh yeah, hundreds. Yeah.
There you go.
Send money.
Lots of it.
Yeah. Send me no more umbrellas.
Folks, welcome. No, Robert Trudeau will probably be at your graduation
Oh,
to
yeah, he'll
lead
have
you
plenty
with
of
an umbrella.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, good.
You will march into pomp and circumstance,
And march out.
and you'll march out to
the
the second
second
line
line.
dance.
That's cool.
That's what I like about LSUS's graduation.
I love second line.
Isn't that great?
Da, 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 da.
Yep.
Or words to that effect.
So let me ask you, during the master's degree program, what was the biggest? Were there surprises? I mean, you went through a lot of classes. You went through marriage and family therapy. You went through statistics. You went through the techniques
Theory.
of counseling, theories of counseling. It's a challenging little degree.
Yeah.
They don't give them away. You have to do some work.
Yeah.
And
A lot of writing.
A lot of writing. What was the biggest surprise for you during all of that coursework during the program?
That's a good question. I'm not going to say there was like this aha moment.
Right.
I will tell you what I think is the most valuable thing that I learned:
Okay.
how to really listen, to be present. And there's a technique to that, as you know, Lauren, when someone is talking and they've really opened up, if you can remove from your consciousness any structure of what you're going to say, and you truly are present and listen to them and look at their body language and the whole thing. I never did that before.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
Yeah. How has your life changed since you've learned that
I'm a
skill?
better husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I listen, and I'll actually go in and genuinely ask my wife, Lisa, what's going on?
I bet you're a better boss at the roofing company.
Well,
I bet you're a better friend as you're
Probably.
puffing your cigars at your.
Probably. No, I mean, I think that this program has given me an insight into how to be, I don't want to be trite, a better person, but just to be there for people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of the underpinnings of the degree and the career is to help make each other better people. Grow
If you're
into
not
better.
into empathetic stuff and listen to people and really wanting to try to help people, and that's the thing, you're not just listening. And what's really cool, David and Lauren, is that now I can listen to someone if I'm really listening, and thoughts come about, what direction do I want to try and suggest on a real non-aggressive. I can kind of have insights into where someone is.
Yeah. I you mentioned Lisa, your wife, and lovely, lovely lady. Love Lisa. What did Lisa say when you went home?
I'll tell you.
Now, what
I
did
know where
Lisa-
you're going.
What did Lisa say when you went home the first time and you suggested you had? I guess you heard about this on the program.
Oh.
And you did your due diligence. And
when I suggested to her that this is what I wanted to do.
yeah, when you said to Lisa, I'm going to go back and get a degree in counseling. What did Lisa have to say?
Well, she rolled her eyes and said, here we go again. I mean, she sat through, bagpipe lessons and beekeeping and airplane building and,
Yeah.
But, this is one that I carried to the end. I thought what you were going to say was, what does Lisa say when she thinks you're trying to counsel her?
Oh, that's another question.
Yeah.
Don't you do that. I know what you're doing. Don't you do that to me.
You keep your counseling. to
Yeah,
yourself there.
don't try that on me.
I love it. What
Yeah.
did some of your friends say as they learned? And I'm sure it wasn't an instant thing.
I
but
haven't
as-
really advertised it, like Friday lunch table and stuff like that.
Yeah. But your good friends know.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And I think nobody said, that was stupid or why are you doing that or anything like. They're generally supportive and, yeah. And so Friday table, I go to lunch every Friday with a group of guys, and one of my good buddies announced at the table that I had passed the NCE, and the people that are there that like me went, man, that's great.
Yeah.
And then the one guy that's, kind of chuckled. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
What other people think about me is none of my business.
There you go. You've learned a lot of techniques during.
I think so.
During this whole journey.
I think.
Yeah. What's the most valuable piece of info? You mentioned listening, becoming a good listener, and that kind of I don't think you can really do therapy, counseling, or coaching
unless you
can focus and listen.
I mean, I think that's the primary task.
Yeah.
I mean, because when people come into the office, the room, if they don't feel listened to or heard, no amount of change or evolution or growth can happen until someone feels safe and understood.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And as a matter of fact, through the years, it amazed me how many people would come in. Mm-hmm. They didn't know me. Many of them had never been in a therapeutic relationship before. But it was somewhat amazing to me how many people walked out after one session and said, geez, I feel better. And, of course, egotistically, you want to say, oh, I did that. But you don't, it's if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're holding space for people.
That's the most sacred thing you can offer any one person.
Absolutely. And that's, that's a lesson for all of us in any relationship. When a person that we care about feels heard and understood, it is healing, isn't it?
Because there's so little of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's just not there are just not that many opportunities to be heard.
Right.
I mean, people will hear you and all that, but to really genuinely be heard with complete positive regard and unconditional positive regard.
You're quoting.
I'm quoting
Carl Rogers, one of my heroes. Yeah,
Carl Rogers.
Yeah.
But you asked me what the biggest thing I learned was I studied existential theory. And that fit me really well. And that simply said is, in life, one must have purpose.
Mm. Wow.
And that's, the search for purpose and refining it and doing things that give you a feeling that, okay, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm staying in harness. Maybe that's a bad metaphor, harness, but it's just,
Jesus used the term yoke. I don't know that that's a bad metaphor.
I mean, it gets back to these retired guys, I mean, I know of people, and y'all probably do too, who have retired and they're not happy.
Right.
Yeah.
And they die.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are just so many times you go fishing or buy a Corvette or change your wife or whatever. Yeah. But finding happiness after your primary purpose has changed is a real worthwhile thing to try to sort out.
Absolutely. And I think it's something we all need to look into even before we retire, to be able to say, what is my purpose? And it's great if your actual career, your job, your work aligns with that. But how can I find that purpose, that alignment, outside of my work as well?
It doesn't have to be work.
How can I marry the two?
Yeah.
And how can it continue on without, I think we get so stuck in these identities, these roles that we make for ourselves.
And we live in such a wonderful time where, again, you decided to take advantage and you went back to school. And LSU gifted you $75,000 worth
nice
of
them, I thought.
Yeah, wasn't that nice?
Yeah.
But that's available to all Louisiana citizens.
If you're over 65,
if you're over 65, you can do that. Of course, you have to you have to meet the criteria to get in. So if you're taking any kind of bachelor's degree courses, you've got to have I'm sure a high school diploma, whatever. But they'll make it easy. They'll work with you.
Yeah, they will.
But not everybody's going to do that. My point is that we live in such a wonderful age of information.
Yeah.
The internet available to us. What do we want to learn?
Yeah.
You can learn really so much. You got to be careful, but there are spaces, and you have to be discerning. But there are spaces out there. I'm thinking of a site like Khan Academy.
Sure.
That you can go and you can learn virtually anything.
There's tons of, what are they called, master classes?
Yes.
Taught by people who are masters in their field. Yeah.
You've got the TED Talks.
And just the idea that we have that capability in this day and age too. You don't have to travel the world to meet the master yoga teacher, right? I mean, you can bring him or her to your living room. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, and now we have minted a new, I should say, not we, LSU has minted a new master of science. He is Jay Murrell, and we are very happy.
Grateful.
And grateful that he is here at the table with us today.
And I have you, both of you.
And, hopefully some people are listening and being inspired. What can I learn next?
Right.
Yeah.
What's next on my agenda?
Never too late.
To learn. No.
Never too late. Never too late.
We're talking about that and so much more today here on Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan, Jay Murrell, David McMillan, and we'll be back. We've got more conversation. Stay right where you are. Stay with us here on Strategies for Living. We'll be right back.
You're going to see the difference. When you go to Azalea Cleaners, you'll hear about it too. Azalea Cleaners has been fine dry cleaning since 1958, plus laundry, alterations and repairs, comforters, wedding gown cleaning and restoration. You'll hear about it from your friends because they'll see it too. They'll notice the Azalea difference. Azalea is convenient. 732 Azalea Drive, 9220 Ellerby Road, and 9227 Mansfield Road. Plus, the front door of your home or business with Azalea's delivery on demand. Just text SETUP to 249-8283, and Azalea will pick up your clothes and deliver them back clean and fresh to you. You can't get closer than that. That's the Azalea difference. You'll notice it right away. Others will too. The Azalea difference. Fine dry cleaning since 1958. Text SETUP to 249-8283 and get the Azalea difference. AzaleaCleaners.com.
Hi, this is Jay Murrell for Pintail Roofing. Let's talk about quality. When you hire Pintail to build your roof, here's what you can expect. Quality and quality control are the most important concerns for us at Pintail, and you need to know that Pintail stands tall with swift and professional performance on any warranty call. This is our most important policy. And remember, we're your neighbors. We'll be here for you for the long haul. Our family's lived here for over 100 years, and we aren't going anywhere. On the commercial side of Pintail's business, our fluid-applied roofing solutions can save thousands of dollars over conventional commercial roofing options. Call Pintail at 226-ROOF for a free inspection of your home or commercial building. That's 226-7663. Pintail Roofing. What's the condition of your roof?
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies for living radio.
And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living Radio. Lauren Leon McMillan, David McMillan, Jay Murrell, almost newly minted Master of Science, LSU Shreveport.
I love the way that sounds when you say it.
Isn't that wonderful?
Wow.
I mean, there's just nothing like, the feeling of accomplishment when whatever the goal that you have put in front of you, you're just about there.
Yeah, and it's a lot of stuff. I mean,
it is a lot of
60
stuff.
hours.
Yeah,
is a bunch.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And were you able to get it? Most all of your classes were in person, right?
They all were, with a couple of sessions in each class, maybe that were Zoom,
Right.
but they were all in person.
They were all in person. And were you able to get most of the classes, Jay, in the late afternoon, early evening?
Well, they're all, there are no morning classes now.
The whole degree.
They're
is
really moving it to nighttime.
Yeah.
They really are.
Yeah.
6 to 9. Whoa.
Yeah.
And not every class, not every teacher keeps you through the whole 3 hours until 9.
But there are always those few
But some do.
who insist.
Yeah.
Well, we will do this.
Yep.
I remember all those many years ago. I did my bachelor's degree at LSUS.
No.
I was already working at the radio station, and a mild challenge had been issued to me by my mother, who, once I got married, she said, "You'll never finish your college
And you went,
degree."
I'll show you.
Yeah, that was all she needed to say.
Yeah.
But I remember, those many days of I'd leave Kiel. It was at 710 Spring Street downtown.
Yeah.
I'd have worked all day in sales and then sales management, and drove out to LSUS Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I can remember I'd have to pass. I lived in Broadmoor at the time, so I'd have to pass where I could have turned off and gone home, right? And that was hard sometimes. The hardest thing was getting past Pennsylvania, where I would have turned to go into the neighborhood.
Right.
Once I was past Pennsylvania, I was okay. You know what I would do, though?
What?
I would, in my mind, when I approached Pennsylvania, I'd let my mind remember the tune Pomp and Circumstance.
Well, there you go.
And I would take myself to that time in the future where I would be receiving a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yes, it did. And then you got your doctorate.
And master's and then doctorate. It said, look, you set the goals,
Right.
and then you go for those.
Well, and you envision and you intend.
That's right.
Part of what you did.
Yeah. But I remember, I would usually park. I'd pull into LSU, big round, driveway, and I'd usually turn to the right and park outside of the science building in that parking lot, because there weren't as many. It wasn't as crowded, and sometimes that long walk, I'd have to have that Pomp and Circumstance going off to, just to make sure that I got to class.
How long did it take you?
I actually I finished Jesuit in 1974.
Okay.
And so I should have finished my bachelor's degree in
78.
78. I finished. I needed one extra semester, so I actually finished my bachelor's degree in December of 1979.
That's good.
So I took one semester in there where I pulled back, and I think I took 6 hours, and that made me extended it a bit.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
You set your goals, and you.
But then
when
you realize through the march, eventually I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just have to keep putting one foot in front of another, and then boom, you end up there, and that feels good.
Yeah. That kind of the neat thing about academia, right? Is courses don't last forever.
That's right. That's right.
A semester is X number of weeks.
Right.
Right. And generally, most of the professors, when you walk into class the first day, are going to give you a syllabus.
Right.
And it's going to show you, okay, well, here are your tests. Here are your major things. Here's a paper due here. Here's a paper due there.
Right.
These are the major things. So you can begin to work towards, doing those things.
So one thing you can't do if you're carrying 15 hours in grad school is put things off until the weekend before they're due. Which is real hard for somebody that has kind of
You had to kind of learn that, huh?
Yeah, but it feels so good when you've done something, 2 weeks, a month before it's due, and you finish it, or you can go through 90% of it, and then you got some time and thinking
got some
about
time to
thinking about
yeah.
So I just did that in a paper on one of these classes on psychopharmacology. Easy for you to say. And it had to do with I'm working with substance use disorder in my internship out at CADA in the inpatient facility, and so that tied into something that we're seeing out there a lot. It's an opioid thing called Suboxone.
Yeah,
and it's the newest thing.
Yeah.
And so that it's really neat to be able to study things and then see the application with real people. Yeah, that's
see
pretty
it in real
cool.
time. Yeah.
Was there
not
ever a
theoretical.
time, Jay, that you said, I don't know if I want to do?
No,
Well, good.
no. I mean, when I lock in on something that I really, really want,
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Now, there are some hobbies that I've done that seemed like a really good idea at the time. I won't mention any.
That's okay. We'll have Lisa on, and she'll
trust
tell us
me.
then.
She's got a list.
Yeah.
But this, I told somebody this. They were asking me about finishing, kind of like you did. When I have a regimen and I know how many, I can do a school thing.
Yeah.
Because there are this many hours, there are this many courses that you have to complete to finish this program. I did that with my aviation technology associate degree at Southern University. And it was just, keep putting bricks on the wall until the wall's built.
Yeah.
It's structured and
And it's structured, and that works for me.
Yeah.
You and Lauren should get in together now. You can get the plane ready.
No, I'm
and
not
then
flying.
y'all can fly here and there and
we're not doing
help
that
people
anymore.
everywhere. You could be super
No,
counselors,
we're not
right?
doing that flying anymore.
Look up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a jaybird and a Lauren-y. No, I've hung my wings up.
I got to tell you though, Jay, I am so proud for you.
Thanks, David.
I truly
means
am.
a lot.
And I don't know what's coming next. None of us do.
No.
But I do know that you're going to use this degree, and you already have helped a lot of people, but you're going to help an incredible number of people in the future.
Thanks, Dave.
And I'm very, very proud for you. Congratulations.
Quote Shakespeare, "'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished."
Ooh. I can't even top that. More strategies for living with Master of Science, Jay Murrell. He's showing off now.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's that Jesuit thing, David.
Yeah, there you go. We'll be right back. Hey, let's talk about the Robinson Film Center. I say it a lot. There's no place like the Robinson.
Absolutely, there is not.
617 Texas Street, downtown Shreveport. You've got so much. You got the movies. You got Abby Singer's Bistro on the second floor of RFC, open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Saturday.
Newly remodeled.
Absolutely. Great menu. RobinsonFilmCenter.org is the way you check it all out. You can go to RobinsonFilmCenter.org at any time and find out what movies are showing. Here's the deal. You want to join the crowd, join the fun, become a member. When you become a member, you become a star. You get discounts on movies, you get concession upgrades, you get bistro deals. RFC, 617 Texas Street in downtown Shreveport. I'll say it again. There's no place like the Robinson.
There is not, and I'm glad we have one right here.
Absolutely. The RobinsonFilmCenter.org.
Reading begins not in the classroom, but in your child's brain. I'm Donisa Walker with Learning RX Shreveport. If your child struggles to read, maybe he or she has trouble focusing or comprehending, Learning RX Shreveport offers a science solution to reading problems, working one-on-one with your child, targeting his or her reading skills. Today, call Learning RX Shreveport. Make an appointment to have your child assessed. I know you want to help your child, so does Learning RX Shreveport.
And welcome back into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillan. Jay Murrell, David McMillan. What's going up on the roof? Huh?
Well, I'll tell you what. We've been in business 9 years.
Congratulations,
And
man.
Pintail Roofing, we're doing a lot more commercial. And of course, we do residential. But over these 9 years, I have found the best installers. No one's better. And so we do it right the first time. And
if there's an issue,
ever a problem, we come back. And things
again.
happen. It happens.
Sure.
But generally speaking, we don't have a lot of callbacks at all.
Yeah.
And and I'll say this real quick. If you own a flat roof and you're going to do anything to it besides call me and let me quote you a fluid applied coating, I just had occasion recently to make that offer to, I won't name the institution, but they decided that they wanted to spend $50,000 instead of $25,000 because we don't know about them coatings. Coatings are awesome. Call me. I'll school you on them if you want to be schooled, and it'll save you. You do it a third to a half of what it would cost for like TPO or modified bitumen or something like that.
How do folks get you?
226-7663. That's 226-ROOF.
Roof.
Pintail Roofing.
When you have something going on with your roof, you really want to turn to somebody that you know you can trust, somebody that's local.
Right.
And that's Pintail Roofing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 226-ROOF.
226-7663. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
There you go. Jay Murrell, thank you so much for all that you're doing. Thank you for being you. And looking forward to the next time that you come be with us here on Strategies.
Me too.
Folks, thank you. Thank you for being with us here on Strategies. We do this each and every day for you, and we can do it because of our wonderful sponsors, the Robinson Film Center, and Azalea Cleaners, and Pintail Roofing.
Roof. I'm delayed.
An echo.
And Learning RX, and the Balanced Life Wellness Center, and Fertitta's Delicatessen, home of the Godfather, alligator Italian sausage, and some pretty good muffies, too. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call? And what would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call for Lauren Leon McMillan. For Jay Murrell, I'm David McMillan. See you next time right here on Strategies for Living.